Today, we're doing a little What's for Dinner Wednesday. Hey guys, Kira here from 50 Shades of Mom, tips for all shades of mom life. And in today's video, I'm back to share with you a little What's for Dinner Wednesday. Now, a lot of these recipes were Pinterest inspired, so I'll have the direct links to the recipes listed down below in the description box, as well as my link if you just want to go ahead and follow me on Pinterest so you can check out my board, see if you can gather any further inspiration, or I have an exclusive cooking video to show you exactly how to make that recipe. So between the Pinterest links or the links to my videos, I got you covered on how to make everything that I'm sharing with you guys today. But this is the most recipes I'm ever sharing with you guys in one video. I think it's 20 recipes, you guys. I'm so excited. Let's get into it. All right, you guys, so here's one of those recipes that I found on Pinterest. So it'll be linked down below, but this is a copycat Cracker Barrel country fried chicken. And it was so stinking good that when it came out, it almost had a fried chicken wing flavor. So I put that blue cheese dressing from that keto lady that I always make. It's seriously the bomb blue cheese dressing. I put that on top of that country fried chicken because it really just gave that fried chicken wing with the blue cheese kind of feel. And then we just had baked potatoes that night, so I had a little bit of butter and sour cream, salt and pepper, and then I made some of the corn that we get from Trader Joe's. That's the super sweet organic corn, I think it's called. Just a little bit of butter and some salt inside of that corn, and it was absolutely delicious. But that chicken, you guys, with the blue cheese, yum. Now we have another one of those Pinterest recipes. You guys, I use Pinterest for so much inspiration, but this was a lemon thyme chicken thigh, and it really was super amazing. It had a lot of that Mississippi chicken feel to it. So you put a bunch of seasonings onto the chicken, and then you braised it in some super hot oil and gave each one of the sides a good crisp. And then you stuck it in that same frying pan. You added some more seasonings and then big wedges of lemon, and then you stuck it in the oven and it baked, and it was really, really good. Super tender, great flavor of the lemon. And then I made some Parmesan orzo, which I have an entire cooking video for just that side dish, so I'll link it up above and down below for you. And then I just went ahead and made some broccoli. We had some fresh florets on hand, so I just steamed them with a little bit of Chef Chamois garlic butter. Super, super good. So tonight was a pizza and salad night, which normally I'm not a huge fan of because I'm not overwhelmingly a huge lover for pizza, but I was dying for this. So this is chicken Marsala pizza. I have my Marsala recipe in my cookbook. That's always listed down below, but I was super excited about making this. So this is the flatbread crust from Trader Joe's, and we had just made a bomb chicken Marsala sauce, and whatever we didn't use on the chicken we froze for this pizza. It was so amazing. Just the sauce on that flatbread covered with some mozzarella and it was just honestly one of the best pizzas. I'm not a huge fan of pizza, but this was super spot on. I absolutely loved it. So make sure you check out that recipe. I think I have a cooking video for that as well, so I'll link it. And then I just had some salad with some romaine lettuce, some cucumber, some tomatoes, and then a little bit of that Annie's honey mustard dressing that I got from Thyme. This was a absolutely outstanding dinner. So here is another recipe that I have an entire cooking video for, so I'll link that down below for you as well. But this is my homemade Alfredo, which I assure you guys, this is a super simple Alfredo recipe, but once you try this, you will never make another recipe. You will never buy one out of a jar. It is absolutely phenomenal. And on this particular night, we had some leftover chicken, and then we had some leftover shrimp. So we just sauteed a little bit of that shrimp and that steak and a little bit of butter, and then once that Alfredo was done, I just mixed that a little over some ziti noodles and folded in that shrimp and chicken. It was so amazing. I don't, again, get to have shrimp very often, so when I get to incorporate it into something that's just in my bowl so it doesn't affect, you know, my husband and his allergy, I enjoy that. And I actually cut a little bit of green onion and sprinkled that on the top, and it just gave a little bit of extra sharp bite to the creaminess of the Alfredo and the shrimp and the chicken. This was so good. Now here is one of my absolute favorite nights, and I love when we do a homemade Chinese takeout night. I don't know about you guys, but getting takeout with 6 people gets super expensive, especially Chinese. You get combination plates. It's like $40 to $60 for our family size. So I just make it here at home. So I do have an entire cooking video on how I make my fried rice, except in that video, for some reason, I kind of had a brain fart and I forgot to add scrambled egg, which I do. And there is scrambled egg in this particular recipe, but I absolutely love doing fried rice like this. Anytime we have leftover pork chop, I throw that on the menu and I make a big thing of fried rice. And those are my cream cheese rangoons with those vegan egg roll wrappers. So good. Salt, pepper, cream cheese, green onion stuffed inside one of them and just lightly pan fried. Absolutely yummy. And then of course just some broccoli. Got to have broccoli on the side of your Chinese food with a little bit of duck sauce. You guys, I had to order duck sauce off of Amazon. No shame. Love it. Absolutely needed it for this kind of night. The only thing I was missing was my homemade almond cookies, but love me some Chinese takeout at home. So this was another Pinterest recipe, so of course I'll make sure to link it down below, but I did do it a little differently. So this was supposed to be a creamy, cheesy kielbasa and pierogi crock pot bake, but I ran out of time during the day and I never loaded it in the crock pot, so I kind of just disassembled Johnny 5, if you get what I'm saying. Comment down below if you get the Johnny 5 reference. But we just got our grill, and so we thought this would be a great time to just throw the kielbasa on the grill, and then I steamed and grilled the pierogies as well. So this was an entirely grilled dinner, and then I just made that cheese sauce that they wanted you to make in the crock pot on the stove, and then we just ladled it over our pierogies and the kielbasa, and then I had another side salad with cucumber, tomatoes, lettuce, and that Annie's honey mustard dressing. This was really good too. All right, so this was a Mexican pizza, and a bunch of you guys asked in our lunch video, since the kids had leftovers the next day, how exactly that we make Mexican pizzas. So I did find a copycat recipe on Pinterest just to get ideas, but I just kind of winged it, I guess. So I had leftover tostadas, and I put a layer of refried beans on the bottom, and then I put some seasoned taco meat, and then I put a layer of cheese, and then I did another tostada with some cheese and taco sauce. I did the taco sauce first, so it would kind of wet the tostada and give it that Mexican pizza from Taco Bell kind of vibe. And then I put the cheese on top, and I just baked them in the oven at 325 degrees for like 15-20 minutes, and they were absolutely amazing. We didn't even do side dishes. A little bit of sour cream, green onion, lettuce, tomato, and we were good to go. Taco Bell for the win. So for tonight's dinner, I felt like it was a throwback to my past because my brother's favorite meal is roast beef. So I actually got a double pack of roast beefs from Sam's Club, and these were absolutely amazing. So I just made one of them in the oven with some awesome beef gravy, and I actually put a little bit of sour cream on top. I like it similar to my pot roast. I like the way sour cream mixes in with the gravy on top of like a red meat like that, like roast beef or pot roast. It goes really well. And then of course I made some corn. I just love corn with mashed potatoes because I love to mix the corn and the mashed potatoes all together. You guys let me know if you do that. Like my dad takes his mashed potatoes and puts like a little hole in the middle of his mashed potatoes and then dumps the corn inside. That's how I always used to eat it, but I didn't do it like this that night because I put some cheese and sour cream and stuff on that. So I did corn on the side, but that's how my daddy taught me to eat it. So I always mix my corn and my mashed potatoes, but this was a super simple, really easy night. Mashed potatoes on the stove, roast beef in the oven, corn on the stove, easy night. So this was another really delicious Pinterest recipe. I'm just actually sad that the quality of this footage is not exactly as good as it needs to be to show you how delicious this actually looks on the plate. My phone films in 4K. It just doesn't transfer like that in quality over to the computer. But this was a crispy panko Parmesan chicken, again from Pinterest, so I'll link it. But between the Parmesan cheese and the panko, it crisped up so nicely and the chicken was tender. And I made that alongside of my coconut rice, which is a super easy recipe. I believe that coconut rice is in my cookbook also. And then some broccoli. We are big broccoli eaters in the house, especially with that Chef Chamois garlic butter. That stuff is bomb. All right, you guys, I was really excited to share this recipe with you because this was the French onion beef casserole. And I actually talked about this a bunch of times in my grocery haul and during the meal plan. I popped up a picture of it. I couldn't wait to kind of talk to you guys about it. So this is a Pinterest recipe, again, that I'll link below. But it was super easy. It seemed to be very similar to a stroganoff, but you mixed inside of it cream of mushroom soup and then actual French onion dip, like a jar of French onion dip. And then once you kind of mix everything together, you stick it in a casserole dish and put those fried onions on top and bake it in the oven. I just kind of felt between the ground beef and then the amount of noodles you were supposed to put in and the liquid ratio, I just don't feel like it carried over with a whole lot of flavor. I think I would have added in a onion soup mix packet to kind of bring out that kind of flavor. That onion soup flavor is very strong. I think that really would have come out. Maybe I would have done a little bit more dip or maybe some heavy cream instead of just that mushroom soup, maybe a can of the onion soup, the brown onion soup, and then a can of mushroom soup, and kind of just giving it more of a creamy texture with a little bit more flavor. I just felt that it felt like it fell a little flat. And with all the ingredients and that powerful French onion dip and stuff, I thought it was really going to come through and just be stronger. I felt like it was a little dry. It was still super good, but it needs tweaking. So you guys let me know if you try it and if you tweak anything and what you think. But I definitely think once I tweak it again, I'll share it. But it definitely needed a little bit of an adjustment. Now tonight for dinner, sometimes you just need to do a salad. And I had asked my husband what he wanted for dinner for that particular week. And he said, I want to do a large salad bar. And I was like, all right, that's a really good idea. So I made some fresh homemade croutons. I had some fresh crumbled blue cheese. I cut up carrots and red peppers and cucumbers, tomatoes. I cut up fresh romaine. I did a variety of different cheeses. I had feta. I had some Mexi melt. I had some sharp cheddar. All of those I kind of put out like a variety of cheeses. I cut up some turkey and some ham. We had some leftover grilled chicken. So I kind of just put out everything and everybody made just like a giant variety salad. It was so good. And again, you guys, that is honey mustard dressing from Annie's. As soon as I opened it, I've grown obsessed. If you guys have not tried it, I recommend you try it. If you like honey mustard, it is absolutely delicious. Would it be a what's for dinner of mine if there wasn't steak and eggs in there? Probably not. So these are the really good and yummy, kind of expensive steaks that I had gotten from either Costco or Sam's Club just for us to cook on the grill. Like once we got this grill, we were all like, all right, what can we throw on it? So I got this steak and it was so good. But as soon as I put it in my mouth, I was like, you know what? I need it with eggs, and I really wanted it with this. That's that sour cream sauce that if you saw the Food for Dudes when Daryl grilled the steaks and then I made the scalloped potatoes, the Food for Dudes taught us to make this sauce with sour cream, balsamic vinegar, a little bit of sugar, and horseradish. And oh my goodness, is that perfect to dunk your steak in. I made 2 over easy eggs because I love when the yolk runs all over my steak. And then I did a baked potato on the side with a little bit of cheese and sour cream, salt and pepper, and green onions. And this, you guys, is the most idealistic, perfect meal for me. You're talking steak, eggs, and a loaded baked potato. Yeah, that's game on. Crunchy pork chops, you guys. I don't even know if I'll ever make pork chops any other way, but doing it this particular way. Like I grew up never frying a pork chop. My mama did shake and bake in the oven. Like that's how we ate it. And then when I moved to South Carolina, I lived across the street from a woman who cooked the most amazing fried pork chops. And I had never had a pork chop fried. And I was like, wow, this is mind blowing. how good the crisp and the crunch is on the pork. I like really crispy, crunchy food when it comes to things like that, like a pork chop or a piece of fried chicken. I really like that crispy coating on something. And so this is super easy to do it. Like any pork chop that you get, you just flour it and then egg it and flour again. And you can use any kind of flour if you want to use almond flour or something like that, so it's more carb friendly. And then you just lightly shallow pan fry it until it's crispy on both sides, but it just makes it so juicy. That crispy coating locks in all the juices. So every time we've been doing this, it's been making the pork the most incredible juicy pork chop, better than baking it in the oven or any of the other ways that I have cooked it. And it still has that really thick crisp on the outside. So I'm kind of obsessed with doing it this way. And we just did a little bit of pasta on the side that we just mixed with a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt, and some Parmesan cheese, and then some carrots and applesauce. Gotta have applesauce with your pork chops. And I just steamed a little bit of carrots and, of course, little Chef Shammy's garlic butter on them. But you guys, oh my goodness, with the crunchy pork chop. Here's our little Labor Day barbecue, and this was super simple, but again, we got a grill, so to be able to grill out some burgers right out on your back patio just kind of made everything a game changer for me. So this is a cheeseburger that I just formed with some regular ground beef at home and just a little bit of salt and pepper on the grill with some white American cheese, some sliced lettuce and tomato. I like mayo and ketchup on my bun, but I will tell you that I do not like that Hunt's ketchup from Costco. I'm really needing my Heinz in my life. It is not that good. And I forgot to defrost a Smart Bakery bun, so I kind of cheated and had this brioche bun. Sorry, not sorry, but it was absolutely delicious. And then we grilled out some of the corn on the cob as well. And then we had some Dr. Pepper pork and beans. Holy cow, you guys, those were amazing. And then I made some pasta salad, and it was kind of like a mishmash pasta salad. So I threw in a little bits of salami and pepperoni. Then I threw in little bits of cheddar cheese and mozzarella. I did green onion and Parmesan cheese and Greek salad dressing and just kind of mixed it up. I felt like it needed black olives. That was the only thing I was missing, but it was a super good pasta salad on the side. Great Labor Day, and I got to use my red, white, and blue plates from the Dollar Tree, and then I had to make my grandmother's cake. So a couple of months back around 4th of July, I got a trio of pound cake from Sam's Club so I can make what my grandmother always made. She made a big sheet cake, but as long as I put a piece of pound cake with some whipped cream and strawberry and blueberries on the plate, then I feel like I've done her justice. So I went and made the dessert that she would always make because I gotta do what I gotta do to honor my grandmother, right? So I did my pound cake with my little bit of Cool Whip, my strawberries, my blueberries, and it was a awesome dessert. So now we're on to enchiladas. Now I have an enchilada recipe that I share in the cookbook as well. And I swear by our enchiladas the way I've been making them for years. My family loves them, but I decided to switch something up. Now I do have a cooking video as well for my standard enchiladas where I use ground beef. And then I also have a enchilada recipe that I shared that cooking video as well. So I'll link them both for you guys where I use chicken. But when I use chicken, I usually do like a salsa verde. But this time I did a shredded chicken with taco seasoning and just kind of the way that I would do the ground beef, but instead I did it with the regular red enchilada sauce. So normally we do red enchilada sauce on ground beef and then the green on the chicken, but I decided to do the shredded chicken with the red sauce. And that was a huge switch for us, and everybody loved it. So apparently I can go pretty versatile between each one. They come out amazing, and I always just top them with sour cream and tomato and green onions. They're super filling. I can only have one every time, but I highly recommend trying this enchilada recipe if you have not tried them. Like I said, I'll link them all for you, and you can kind of use both of them and play with both recipes to see what best suits your family. But I highly recommend these enchiladas. They are the bomb, you guys. Anybody ever get the Alice Springs chicken from the Outback Steakhouse? Because that's what this is. And Wow, you guys. Now, I've told you throughout this entire video that I keep putting that Annie's honey mustard on all of my salad. Honey mustard is probably my #1 favorite dressing. And the Alice Springs copycat chicken, again, this is a Pinterest recipe, so I'll just link it down below for you, pretty much uses a mustard base on the chicken, and then you lay it in a pan and you put a layer of mushrooms and a layer of bacon and a layer of cheddar cheese, and then you bake it in the oven. So it's like a Dijon honey mustard sauce with mushrooms, bacon, and cheese. Holy cow, you guys. Like, I've never had that at the Outback. If I went to the Outback, I would have gotten steak. You guys can see, like, steak is the ultimate for me. I absolutely love it. A good ribeye, and you got me good. So I probably would have never reached for chicken at the Outback, but holy cow, this was so great. So many of you commented when I said I put it on my meal plan how good this recipe was, and I'm so glad that I tried it. And now that I have a couple of copycat recipes in my arsenal, there'll definitely be a video coming soon. And I'm going to finish today's What's for Dinner with something that really hits close to home, because I love being able to do something that brings a little nostalgia back to my husband. So I have talked a couple of times about our first vacation, and our very first vacation together as a couple. We went and stayed in Vermont, and his family lives about 45 minutes from Vermont over Lake Champlain. So when we first got there, we traveled right to New York right away. He wanted me to meet his family quickly. We couldn't check into our hotel for a while, so we took the ferry from Vermont over to New York, and it's a 12-minute ferry ride over Lake Champlain. And on the ferry ride, they sell poutine. And as soon as we got in line for the ferry, my husband jumped out and said, "Oh my goodness, I'm going to go see if they have a surprise for us inside." And he ran in and he came back with the largest smile on his face with a styrofoam container, and he's like, "Babe, you gotta try this poutine. You'll never have anything like it." And inside of it was crispy French fries with this really delicious beef-like gravy and this melted cheese curd. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I was a little intimidated. I had never done gravy on a French fry before, but now I can understand the real appreciation from that. And this actually comes from Canada. This is a Canadian thing. And when my husband was growing up, living so close to Canada, there was no passports needed or anything, no like big deal at customs at the border. So he would go to Canada all of the time, and he would get like real poutine right from Canada. And this was something he just couldn't wait to share with me. So now it feels so special to be able to cook it for him. So on this particular night, we had some leftover beef gravy from like the roast beef or something that I had froze, and I just made some crispy fries. I got some cheese curd from Target, and I just made him like a cheese fry that has the gravy and the cheese curd instead, and he was just over the moon. And we just did it with something super simple: chicken patties on a bun with cheese. I had some hot sauce and ranch on mine. Some of us did barbecue sauce, some just did mayo with lettuce and tomato. Like, obviously chicken patties are super versatile. You can make your chicken sandwich anything you want it to be, but on this particular night, it was chicken sandwiches and poutine, and my husband was super happy. All right, you guys, but that's it for another What's for Dinner video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I really hope we're able to inspire your kitchen somehow. I love sharing recipes with you guys, or what's for dinner, or what's for lunches, and then you guys come back and comment and say, now I have to have that for dinner, or that's what I'm making tonight because you shared that. That totally makes me feel good, and that's the purpose of these videos. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are new here and you enjoyed this video and you want to see further food videos like this from me, because this channel is pretty food heavy, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you're notified when I upload, because there's no consistency to this channel besides my Monday grocery hauls. Other than that, you guys, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous week. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys all so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.